So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. Welcome for the continuous discussion on our Gita Gyan program, the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So, today is 20th of September, 2024, Friday. So, I'm happy to meet all of you here today to discuss on the last part of this confidential topic, the last part, which is called devotional service. All right. So, Bhakti Yoga. So, and by the way, I would like to welcome Rusan Mataji. Right, I met her this morning and invited her. Thank you for joining us today. And also, who's this? Arisi Mataji is here. So welcome all. Okay. So that we are here to we have gathered here to discuss on and just to recap what we have discussed on last Wednesday, right? Wednesday. So we discussed on this the universal form. All right. So Krishna started to show his universal form, the form that eventually Arjuna became very worried. Okay. So just to recap, so we have been passing through all these chapters. All right. So first we started from chapter 1. The title is observing the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whereby Arjuna became bewildered after seeing all their family members there to fight. He said he don't want to fight, and he started to lament. Then after that, chapter 2, we have also gone through contents of Gita summarized. Okay, the entire things that what we're going to discuss in Bhagavad Gita, it is all mentioned in this chapter 2. Then we came to chapter 3. Okay. So we came to chapter 3. Chapter 3, we studied about Karma Yoga. Okay, how we can do things without expecting any result. And chapter 4 is transcendental knowledge. And here we understood about soul and all these things. All right. So what is the spiritual knowledge of the soul and all this? Okay. Then we went to chapter 5. Chapter 5, we studied on Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. All right. How are we going to practice? That means now I don't expect any result. So if I get something, what should I do? Okay. So we studied on that. And chapter 6, we went to Dhyana Yoga, the meditation. And of course, Arjuna says it's not possible, this thing. Then we came to chapter 7. In chapter 7, we studied on the knowledge of the absolute. And chapter 8, we went into attaining the supreme, which is all confidential part, the middle 6. And chapter 9, we studied about the most confidential knowledge. And chapter 10, we discussed on the opulence of the absolute. Okay, how opulent is Krishna? And chapter 11, at last, he showed his universal form. Okay, so what is that idea about universal form? Nowadays, we can see that so many fake gurus are there, fake avatar. So many people claim themselves as God. So how to identify them? Okay, that's one subject we have learned. So after knowing this thing, I believe that you all won't be duped into this speculation when people come and say, who are they? Okay, then now we are coming to the chapter 12. All right, the last part of the unit 2, the middle part, is called devotional service. All right, so the devotional service, it is the summum bonum. So now after we studied that universal form, Arjuna is bewildered. Okay, Arjuna is bewildered. He was a kind of confused. He was so scared, worried, and he started to saw that how all the people that was actually put to death and how they get killed. Okay, all these the people on the Pandava side and also the people from the Kaurava side. Both side army are destined to death. Okay, so then he says, take up and fight, and you just be the instrument in this process. Okay, so before we start, is there any reflection or anybody would like to share something before we start our chapter 12? Anyone? Shanti Samantha. Shanti Samantha. Are you first time coming for this today?
No, Prabhuji. Shanti here.
Shanti, which Shanti, yeah?
Shanti Samantha. My father is Ramdas. My husband is Samantha. Samantha. That's why Shanti
Are you the one
Samantha.
that we spoke yesterday? You're from KL.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah,
yes.
okay, okay. Right. Okay,
Mm.
okay. Now I got it. Okay, any reflection before we start? Okay, when there's no reflection, so today we proceed with our program, discuss on chapter 12. So before we do that, let's do our invocation prayer in gratitude. Okay, so we offer obeisances to all the spiritual preceptor. Without their blessing, all these are not possible for us to achieve, right? So let's do this invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nittai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Charistarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So today we proceed. Okay. Microsoft Office. Okay. You all can see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hey, why is this thing not moving? Okay. So, ISKCON Malaysia presents Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, level 2. Today we're going to speak on chapter 12. Okay, before that, let's take darshan from Sri Sri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Ki Jai. Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga. Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Whenever we chant Hare Krishna, how to chant Hare Krishna? How are we supposed to fix our mind in the chanting of the holy name? All right. So, what you do when you chant Hare Krishna, first thing is when you chant Hare Krishna, what do? You concentrate at the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Then you go to the Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. You concentrate at the hip of the Lord. Okay. Hare Rama, look at the chest of the Lord. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. You start to stare at the face of the Lord. Okay. So this is how you meditate. Okay. So sometimes when you chant Hare Krishna, so you sometimes, if you just can open this thing, or you just can have an altar, or any Krishna photo. So first thing when you chant Hare Krishna, look at their lotus feet. So how beautiful is the lotus feet. So Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, look at the hip. Hare Rama, look at the chest, and Rama Rama Hare Hare, look at the face. Okay. That is a very effective way of meditating while you're chanting the holy name. So today we dedicate a program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, he did a very magnificent deed, all right? When he went to US, he never had anything. He only had a trunk of book, okay, a trunk of book, and around 20 or 40 rupees. So the first book he distributed in the West was to the captain of the ship. And with that money and with one reference, okay, Agarwal family, and through that reference, he went there, he stayed. At one moment, there was a big, okay, like for instance, like now we are facing this kind of, in US, there was a cold season. So whenever there's a cold season comes, everyone, the government will start to provide shelter to the homeless. Okay, to the homeless people, they give blanket and everything so they can come and stay there because it's a very cold weather. So before that, he was sitting at the bench and he was looking at the sky, chanting and meditating. Suddenly a bum came and sat beside him and asked and said, "Hey, you're wasting your time. Nobody is going to listen to your message. Just give it up. Go back. Go back to where you came from. Here, the people will never listen to you." He was just gravely stared at the sky, and suddenly he just said, "You know something? I can see my temple. I can see my devotees. I can see my disciples. I can see the festival. I can see everything very clearly. Only the time is separating me." He was such a visionary because it was told by his spiritual master to go and preach to the West. So he took this challenge, which is not an easy feat. Okay. Sometimes okay, I'm not sure, but I don't even dare to go out from the house if I have few ringgit in my pocket. It is something that's something that it's not possible. I only got few ringgit. What am I supposed to go out? All right. So, but he left India and went to the West because the spiritual master told him that this message has to be spread in every town and village of the world. So, during 60s, 70s, early 80s, the biggest place that they face to challenge, the biggest challenges they face is to preach in communist bloc, especially Russia. He went to Russia, he met one person and just taught him. He spent with him for 2 days, and that person created a big revolution. And today, Hare Krishna became a household name in Russia. Okay. Now, what is that modern challenges that Hare Krishna is facing? Preaching in China. The China has already put a ban and say that this thing cannot be spoken or cannot be taught or cannot be spread. Okay. But somehow or other, the devotees from China are so dedicated and so committed, and they are somehow or other fighting through it and to create a big revolution. All right. It is mentioned that Chinese will be the last to join, but when they join, they conquer the world. That is what is happening now. We can feel, right? Because I'm in charge of this, the Chinese preaching program for Malaysia, and I've started up a center in Ipoh dedicated to Chinese preaching. Now we could feel that so many educated Chinese are looking into this. Okay. And especially now the China and India, they have a big problem. They don't like each other now. So the Chinese devotees from China cannot go to India. So what is the best place they can come? They are all coming to Malaysia, right? They come here, they spend 2-3 months, because I think for first 2 months or 3 months, there's no visa. And of course, Malaysia is encouraging the Chinese, what they call, tourists to come to the country. So now they're making full use of that. And now there's a big revolution is starting. Okay. And all these things, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. He had a vision that a day will come, every town and village, there'll be not a place that you can't find ISKCON center nearby. Okay. So today we dedicate this, our program, to his lotus feet. Let's look at today's Mahatmya. Let's look at today's Mahatmya. What is Mahatmya? The glories. So today's Mahatmya, the glories, it says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Gita Shraheham Tistami Gita me paramam garaham. Gita jnanam samasritya. Trilokim palayamyaham. So Gita jnanam sama trilokim. Trilokim means the three world, three planetary system. Right? So Krishna says, I am present within the Gita. And the Gita is my supreme residence. Only by the knowledge of the Gita do I maintain the three worlds. It's mentioned in Sri Vaishnava Tantra Sara, verse 12. So, what we can understand from here? The book Bhagavad Gita that you are keeping in your house, right? And you are carrying it with you, because I always encourage you all to carry the Bhagavad Gita wherever you go. Okay, so this Bhagavad Gita, it's just not an ordinary book. The book that, the knowledge that was imparted by Krishna 5,000 plus years ago, and the knowledge is still valid till today. There's so much of transformation program, transformation of the heart. Okay, there's a lot of wonderful things happening even today. All right, through the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so despite spoken 5,000 years ago, it's still valid till today. So that's why Krishna says it's my resident. I present in Gita. Because of that, in previous Mahatmya that we have studied, what we have studied, okay, all that holy places, holy tirtha, all that holy places in the world, in the whole universe, it present in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, now you understand why. Because Krishna exists in this book. Because there's no difference. Like me and my body, there's different. But here, Krishna and his words, there's no difference. Okay, Krishna and his word, there's no difference, because that is what God, omnipotent, omnipresent. So omnipotent means that he and his paraphernalia, his dress, everything, there's no difference. Okay, so so when he says he present in Gita means, that means the book Gita, it is Krishna himself. All right, so with that thought, let's start today's program. So understanding the Gita. From introduction of Bhagavad Gita, it says, modern man has struggled very hard to reach the moon. Okay, but he has not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. Okay, he has not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. Why? What does that mean? So that means modern man has struggled very hard. Okay, to what? To reach the moon. But he has not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. Right? So that is something which is very important. The spirituality is very, very important. What is that spirituality means? Only in spirituality we speak something which is beyond our human understanding. Only in spirituality we speak about the eternal position or eternal place that exists somewhere. Every religion in the world speak on that. They say that this is a temporary place for you. Right? This is a place temporary for you. And there's one place which is permanent. So you have to go there. And in order to go there, you have to do all these things in this world. You have to get prepared. Right? So that means this lifetime is actually a preparation to be elevated to that place. Right? If one has 50 years of life ahead of him, that means example Prabhupada is telling, if one has 50 years of life ahead of him, he should engage that brief time, okay, in cultivating the practice of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this practice is called devotional process, right? So these 50 years, we may think, oh, we still have a long way to go. Actually, it's not. Okay, we did the calculation that day, right? 50 years means you can celebrate maybe next 50 Chinese New Year, 50 Thaipusam, 50 Deepavali, that's all. Okay, and what they call, if you times by 360, it's around 15,000 days approximately. Okay, around 50,000 plus days is only ahead of you. So it's a very brief time, and that also we sleep for 8 hours. You know, we get stuck in the jam for a few hours. Then we got so much of other engagement. So before we could even realize the time flies, right? So today I was having a friendly conversation with a friend. I say, when we were young, we feel like the time is crawling. Why the weekend is not coming? I don't like to go to school. I just hope the weekend Saturday comes in so I can have fun, right? But now after we get old, it looks like the time flies so fast. It just felt like, okay, now it's a school holiday season. I just thought the school just holiday and today is already Friday. Okay, just see how fast, how quick the time flies. Okay, so that's the thing. So it is actually, we have, the time is just going on, so we have to utilize it. So these 9 process, which is the easier is Shravanam. So that means there is 9 process of devotional service, 9 process, but the easiest one is Shravanam. That means hearing the Bhagavad Gita. All right, hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the realized person. That means the most among the 9 process of bhakti. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Samaranam, Pada Sevanam. All right, there's 9 types of process. But what what Prabhupada is saying, among all these 9 process, the most easiest is hearing, listening to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so it will turn one to the, okay, but from a realized person, of course. Okay, from a realized person. Who's that realized person? Okay, for instance, when you see the Bhagavad Gita that has been presented by as it is, okay, first there's a Sanskrit, then after that word translation, then the real translation in English, then after that the purport. So the purport is actually Prabhupada is advising and explaining to you what is this verse means. The meaning of that verse is explained in that purport. Right? So when we start to associate or we start to read that purport, okay, actually you are actually, it's a listening. Okay, you are listening to that purport, but of course through reading. All right. So what will happen? Will turn one to the thought of the Supreme Being. These will lead to remembering the Supreme Lord and will enable one upon leaving the body to attain the spiritual body, which is just fit for association of the Supreme Lord. What does that mean? The body that given to us is the body that fit to live in this place, in this material world. All right. So when you see any kind of species of animal, that wherever you see, they are given a specific body that fits the environment that they live in. Okay. Or just like uniform, we have to wear certain uniform and we want to go and see certain, if you're involved in certain kind of job. So what is mentioned here, once we leave this body, all right, once we leave this body, I mean once we die, all right, when we die in full remembrance and everything, we will attain a spiritual body. That body that was our original body, right? The original self. We will have that spiritual body, which is just fit for association. All right, we just fit for association with the Supreme Lord. Okay, example, remember that in chapter 11 we studied what Krishna says. Behold, Arjuna, all these opulence, whatever you want to see, you can see it at this place, but your eyes can't see them. Therefore, I give you the divine eyes. So Krishna gave an eye that was suitable to see all this vision. So similarly, we also need to have a suitable body to associate with Krishna. All right. So with that reflection, we will start our program. Okay, chapter 12. This chapter 12 is very important chapter. The title is Devotional Service. All right, let's look at 12.1. Arjuna vacha evang satatta yuktaye bhaktastvang paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittama. Arjuna inquired. Okay, now what is that inquiry after what? After seeing all that glory from Krishna in your previous verse, the big huge form, the form was so scary, the eyes open, the mouth are wide open, gaping, like that. And you see all that Pandavas and the Kauravas are rushing into the mouth and he crushing them. Such a horrible form. After seeing all that, he was so disturbed. And he said, hey, Krishna, who are you? What is your mission? Why? Then he stated, I am here to destroy everyone. I am time, Kala. Kalosmi. So that means I am the time, that the destruction of everything. I here to destroy everyone except you, O Pandava. So now you are just an instrument. You are just an instrument for me to execute this plan. All right. Then after that, Krishna says, then Arjuna, out of fear, he started to say, oh Krishna, please forgive me. I have been, I have dishonored you. I have taken you very lightly. Because in a friendship or madness, we sleep together, we eat together, and sometimes I humiliated you in front of people. Please forgive me, and all these things he said. Right? Then after that, he said, "Oh Krishna, please come and show your original form. Come back to your two-handed form. I can't see this terrible form." Then from big, huge form, he came back to the four-hand Vishnu. Then he come back to the form of Krishna. All right. After that, now in chapter 12, Arjuna is asking. Just imagine the way he asked. All right. So he was still in that excitement mixed with fear. All right. So Arjuna vacha evang satata yuktaye bhaktastvang paripasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifest? So Arjuna is asking the question, because 5,000 years ago, more than 5,000 plus years ago, there was no religion existed. There was no religion called Hinduism. There's no religion called Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. There's no religion. Like Christianity is 2024 years old. I think Islam is around 1,000 plus years, 1,500 plus years old. Buddhist, I think it's around 3,000, 2,000 plus years, right? 2,000 or 3,000 plus, and like that. So there was no religion existed. It was called Sanatan Dharma, the eternal Dharma. So in this thing, there is lot of there's two forms of, there was two schools of thought. One school of thought says the God has form and worshipping the form of the Lord. There's another school of the thought says the God is formless. There's no form. God is no form. God is light. Okay, Jodi, 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 Suyam, Jodi, 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 Arul. The God has no form. God has this, God is that, right? So that's why Arjuna asked, because that time, this was that confusion. So he asked, which is considered to be more perfect, right? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service. That means those who are directly engaged in your devotional service. How? By mind, thought, deeds. Okay? Or those who worship the impersonal Brahman. That means worshipping the form, the God without form, impersonal. Okay, Brahman. That means the formless God. All right? The unmanifest, the thing that cannot be manifest, cannot be seen. So which is perfect? Krishna, Arjuna is asking. Why he asked that question? Because now you see in this world, there's only two doctrine. There's one part of that spiritual movement around the world says that God is no form. God is died and he raised himself back. He came in the form of Holy Ghost. And another school of thought says that we are so imperfect, we cannot perceive the form of the God. Therefore, God is formless because he always everywhere. When he is formless, he perceives everywhere. Right? Just like the wind is every corner. You can't control it because you can't see it, unmanifest. So then another thing says, okay, there is a God, there's a form. And also they also will be criticized as the idol worshipper or something like that. So your opinion, my opinion can be wrong. So therefore, Arjuna is asking, what is your opinion? Krishna's opinion. Because Krishna's opinion is the ultimate opinion. Is the ultimate. All right. So he asked, so what do you think? Which is better? Arjuna asked Krishna. 12:2. Now, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Now, Krishna start to speak. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Maya Vesho Mano Ye Mang. Nitya Yukta Upasate. Shraddaya Parayo Petas. Te Me Yukta Tamamata. So, what it says? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. So what is this? Maya Vesha. Maya means me. Avesha, Vesha. Form, Vesham. Mano Yemam. You meditate on the Nitya Yukta Upasate. So he says that Supreme Person God is those who fix their mind on my personal form. So when Krishna says that you should worship in my personal form, so what else can we argue on? There are so many versions of Bhagavad Gita out there. There's so many bogus gurus, bogus authors have translated Bhagavad Gita. But sometimes I used to wonder why they didn't understand this particular verse. Right? When you look at that verse 12.2, if you have a Bhagavad Gita, you can open your Bhagavad Gita and see. In 12.2, okay. Okay, see what Krishna says here. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, that means the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Mayi, upon me, Aveshya, fixing, Mana, the mind, Ye, those who, Mam, me, Nitya, always, Yuktaha, engaged, Upasate, worship, Shraddaya, with faith, Paraya, transcendental, Upetaha, endowed, Te, they, me, by me, Yukta Tama, the most perfect in yoga, Mata, are considered. So when you see the word-to-word translation is so, it's coming straight to the point, right? So that's why sometimes we say, it has to be, that's why they say that the Bhagavad Gita and all this has to be really received from this parampara system and also by the mercy of the Lord. Okay. So he's saying that those who fix their mind upon my personal form, I mean, those who always remember, that's what Krishna says, remember me in the form of Krishna, right? Before this we have studied, right? Remember me in the form of Krishna. And he wants you to remember his personal form. Okay. After that, he remembers that and always engage in worshipping. All right. With great and transcendental faith. Okay. Great and transcendental faith are considered to be by the most perfect. They are the most perfect one. Okay. Now we are jumping to text 5. Those who are coming for the first time, why we are jumping our text like this? Because we are only discussing the what they call the summary. Of course, you are expected to go and study your Bhagavad Gita. I'm just taking all that important summary we discuss, so you get a rough overview or understanding about the chapter. So later, when you study, you understand better. All right. Let's look at 12.5. What Krishna says: Kleshodikkatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha vadpir avapyate. Dukkha means what? In Malay, we call dukkha, suffering. So for those mind are attached to the unmanifest. Now let's look at this. For those people who mind is attached to the unmanifest, that means the formless God, something that doesn't exist. Impersonal feature, that means the feature that don't have person, impersonal, of the Supreme. Advancement is very troublesome, Krishna says. So for them, the advancement in spiritual life is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. That means to what they call to make progress is very difficult to people who are embodied. What is embodied means? Those who are living in this gross body. Because when we live in this gross body, we have this main element, the mind, intelligence, the 5 main element, and we have the 3 subtle element, mind, intelligence, ego. This mind, intelligence, ego are always what they call, they always like confuse each other. The intelligence will and the mind will be like, there'll be sometimes there's a lot of short circuit happening. So when we are in this embodied body, it is very hard for us to make progress in this discipline, because we are praying to something which don't exist, right? Like some people say, okay, I pray to the light, everything is the divine light. But of course, when you talk about light, there should be source of the light. Okay, there is a light up there because there is a bulb. The light doesn't come from nowhere. When I bring a torch, if I bring a candle, the light is there because there's a fire in the candle, right? So there's light. So that means when there is a light, there should be a source of that light. Just like the sun. You see the photo here? The 2 people are meditating. There's a light. But where does the light came from? The source, the sun. And what is that sun? To understand the sun scientifically, it is called intelligent. So how can we divide? We can divide the sun into three. One is the sun globe, the planet called sun. Second is the person who controls the sun, the personality of the sun, Surya Dev. Number three, the sun particle. So whenever when the shine comes, it comes through a particle. You understand what I mean? How many of you are confused? You all get me what I'm saying? You all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. So how to find the particle of the sun? Sometimes you can take incense. You know the incense, the incense. You light the incense. You bring the incense near the light or near the sun. You can see the particle of the sun glittering. So the particle of the sun is the one that comes from the sun and illuminating everything. So the three knowledge of the sun particle, the sun globe, and the person of the sun personality. So there are these things. So that is intelligent. That means these are the person controlling it. But when we start to deny the sun and looking at the light, how does that make sense? The light simply appear from nowhere. When there's no light, it becomes dark because this planet Earth is the place of darkness. Remember we discussed that before? Right? When we are living in this planet, we are living in total darkness. In this total darkness, Krishna created a sun which is on fire, a planet on fire. 24 hours firing is fire and it's floating. It's like it's keep burning and burning and burning, releasing light and heat. And all the planets share the light, right? So they cannot, if the planet goes near the sun, it will get burnt, get evaporated. So 24 hours here, and imagine the turn on this side. After this side finish, it come to this side. So it has to rotate 12 hours on half, another 12 hours on another half. Total 24 hours, the flow is keep rotating while the sun is just like, okay, I'm going to give you a very terrible example. Okay. I shouldn't say that because I just saw that in Pasar Malam just now. All right. Anyway, I give you an example of what do you call corn. You know corn, jagung. You know how they grill the corn. You know the corn, right? Corn, C-O-R-N, corn or jagung. All right. What they do? They put something and they start to grill. The thing start to rotate. So they put butter and rotate and put a butter. So that means there's a fire down there. So the things keep rotating. So it get cooked. Then from there, up there it goes, you see, and keep rotating and rotating and rotating. All right. So in other words, the earth is something like that. It's still rotating to take the sun. Okay, now it's already night, and so sooner or later, now it's Trinidad Tobago is in the morning, and soon the thing will change. So now we're going to face morning, and they're going to face night. So it's just like that. All right. So that's the thing. So when we can see things, and when we see things that's moving, and to understand it, it's scientific. That's why the scientist community, they said, I want proof. What proof they want? They want to see the cause and effect, either mathematically or through some chemical reaction or some manifestation in front of their eyes. They don't want to hear some story. They don't agree to something which is not visible. Right? So you can argue, oh yeah, there's wind, there's no, I can't see the air. I can't see the air. Yes, but with some, when I put up a smoke, I can see the air. That means the air exists. Right? And the wind, I don't believe in wind. Yeah, when the smoke goes and the thing got blown away to one side, well, that means there's some energy that blows this thing. Oh yeah, there is. Or when I play kite, I know there's a wind there exists. And I can even feel it when the thing come and touch my face. That means we need to have scientific evidence. Okay, we cannot think something that's something we cannot see. All right. When example, like the atheistic point of view, they say, wow, look at that Mercedes-Benz. Wow, German marvel. Very good. German technology. Superb. Right? But when they say the earth was created, hey, no. The earth was not created by anybody. When these mundane cars like Mercedes and all these things, somebody created, they call German Marvel la, this la, that la. But when you talk about Earth, no one created. Suddenly all the gas got together, boom, exploded, and everything fall into place. Big Bang Theory, and everything start to manifest. How is that possible? Doesn't make sense at all. Right? That means I just want to build a house, right? I just bring a dynamite and put in the middle of my land, and I just burst it, boom, it will explode. Suddenly all the pillar will start to fall into the places, all the toilet all go and fit in all in the right place, and all the piping will start to manifest by itself, and all the door and aircon, electricity, everything, and all the everything will happen. Where got such thing? Right? It doesn't make sense. Right? That's why when it's something that cannot be seen, it can be always the subject of speculation. It can be like this, it can be like that, it can be this, it can be that. No, it's not that. We need to see it to believe it. So Krishna says, this is klesho, tough. It's not easy. It's very hard. All right. For people to the mind to be attached to something which is not manifested. All right. Let's look at verse 6 and 7. Yetu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matpara ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshang ahang samudarta mrityu sangsara sagarat bhavamina chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. He said, but those who worship me, Krishna says in 6-7, chapter 12, text 6 and 7, he says, but those who worship me, giving up all the activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am a swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So what does that mean? So Krishna says, but those who worship me, giving up all the activities. What does that mean, giving up all the activities? So we go back to chapter 3 and chapter 5. What did Krishna says, giving up activity? What does that mean? Giving up attachment to that activity. Don't ever think I am the doer. Oh, I am the one who made this. I am the doer. No, don't ever have that thing I am. All right. So what Krishna says, do whatever you want, do it as a matter of duty. So when you do as a matter of duty, you do not claim, you do not boast. All right. Like for instance, when you cook something for your child, you do not boast, I cook for you so that, no, the mother usually do not show off to the child. All right. Okay. So that means I am the doer, I am the doer. So we do not have that. I'm just doing it as a matter of duty. And whatever result I get from that, I offer it to Krishna. So my activity become sanctified. Okay. So that's what he says. Giving up all the activities unto me. Right. Then being devoted to me. Devoted. So we become very without deviation. Deviation means what? Suddenly you feel like it, suddenly you don't feel like it. All right. That means 100% this thing. All right. Engage in devotional service. So what is the engagement devotional? Like chanting Hare Krishna, reading the Bhagavad Gita. All right. Then always meditating upon me. How we meditate? By chanting the holy name. Okay, when we chant Hare Krishna, we are meditating about Krishna. And having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them, I am a swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So this is the ocean of birth and death. It is so terrible. Right? It is so terrible. When you look at the way, the wave and everything, we are keep moving in within that direction. You know, we are just within this direction. We are affected by this direction. Okay, yeah, I mean, this environment. Right? We are going through so many birth, we are going through so many, what they call, we have taken so many species, we are born in so many species. No, we are all suffering and struggling. Okay, but what Krishna says, if a person can do this, I am the swift deliverer. He swiftly take you easily from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, now let's look at the story from Ramayana. The boatman for devotee. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the story in Lord Ram. Okay, this is from Ramayana. Ramachandra, Sita Devi, Ram, and also Lakshman was on exile. Okay. So what happened? They all were wandering in the forest. Okay, they all wandering in the forest. So at one moment they came to one river and they wanted to cross the river. They wanted to cross the river. Okay. So when they wanted to cross the river, that time, so they went and approached a boatman. And he says, Mr. Boatman, take us across that river. Take us across the river. Okay. So then what happened? Take us across the river. The boatman says, cannot. He said, what? No, cannot. I cannot take you across the river. He said, but what's the point? I'll pay you. I'm not asking for free. No, cannot. Cannot. He said, why? Once I heard when you were young, right? When there's a wife of Gautama. What's the name?
Mata Ahalya.
Ahalya. Okay. So, oh, welcome, Sri Ram.
Hi,
Right.
Prabhu.
So, yeah. So this wife of Gautama was cursed to become a stone. All right. So when both of them young boys were traveling in the forest, so the guru said, now you should deliver this stone, this person from that body of the stone. So what Lord Ram will do, he will take the feet and put on the stone, and the stone turn into a woman. She get back the form. You all understand the story? All right. I'm not going in detail. I'm just telling it in a surface level. So he said, okay, now she became a person. I mean, formerly she was a stone. She was cursed. When Ram put the head on the stone, pop, the stone, the curse has gone. She came back to the original form. Okay. Now what happened? So the boatman told to Ram, look here, I already have one daughter with me, and I am struggling to get her married. You know, those days when they want to get her married, they have to create money, dowry, and all these things. Already one daughter, I'm struggling. With your what they call with the what they call with the dust of your lotus feet, you come into my boat. When you put your leg, and suddenly this boat turn into a girl, I cannot think about having another daughter and get her married. You all understand the story? You all understand the story?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I cannot have one more daughter. It's one daughter itself, I'm struggling. If you with your feet, you, so what do you need to do? Then Lord Ram says, so I need to wash your feet first. Make sure there's no dust in your lotus feet. He say, okay. Then he washed his feet, then put them into the boat. After they put them into the boat, when they cross the river, and now Lord Ram says, now take this remuneration. He want to give that feast. And the boatman refused to accept. Then Lord Ram said, why? Why suddenly you don't want to accept the feast that I give you? No, I do not accept money from those who are in the same job. All right. Example, if you are a doctor, you do not charge another doctor. See, if you're a doctor and suddenly a patient comes to you, who is the doctor? The doctor doesn't charge another doctor. It is their what they call etiquette. You all understand? I'm a doctor. Suddenly another doctor come to me. I do consultation. I don't charge because that's the rules. A doctor do not charge another doctor. So here the boatman says, I'm a boatman and you also a boatman. And boatman to boatman, we do not charge money. You all understand the story?
Don't understand, Prabhu.
I understand.
Okay, good. Thank God you say you don't understand. See, he's a boatman. You understand that, Rajina Mataji?
Yes.
All right. And he's telling he don't charge another boatman.
But Krishna is
understand?
not a boatman.
Yeah. So this is what it says. For I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So Krishna says, I am the boatman that swiftly deliver you from the ocean of birth and death. Now you understand?
Okay.
You understand or just say okay?
No, I understand. A different
Yeah.
kind of boatman.
Exactly, different kind of boatman. So Arjuna, the Krishna, Ram, it always swiftly deliver us from it just become a boat that deliver us from this ocean of birth and death. So that's why the boatman says, I do not charge another boatman. So this is what devotional service is all about. The boatman never give up his job and do something else, be a monk or mendicant and meditate upon Lord Ram. He simply engaged in the service of the Lord Ram with so much of love and affection. All right. So when we perform a devotional service, it is something that we call Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means we simply utilize what we have for the service of the Lord without changing our original identity. You do not need to convert. You do not need to change yourself into something else. Right? You just need to simply change your consciousness and always feel that you are under the care of the Lord. Okay? All right? So that's the thing. Okay, now shall we take a few minutes break? Now it's going to be 8:25. Shall we take 2 minutes break?
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay. Now it's 8:25. We just take a short break. We meet again in 3 minutes time. Just get up, stretch yourself, get some water and come back. Hare Krishna. Right. Okay. Now we are talking about, we spoke about that swift deliverer from the nations. That means the one who delivers us. Now, I would like to show you something. How terrifying this material nature. This material nature is so terrifying. Okay. But what we are seeing is, this is one sample of terrifying material nature that recently that happened in Vietnam. Okay. Look at the typhoon. Yeah. Look at the way. My God. All right. So what we can see from here, this is part of that nature that we can see. Like this material nature is not a very, very comfortable place for us to stay. It is so scary. All right. And just imagine you are at night, just go to the beach and just look at night. Everything is dark. And we are struggling in that kind of nature. And Krishna says, if you surrender, if you engage in, I'll be the swift deliverer. I'll deliver you swiftly from this material, what they call in the material world, ocean of repeated birth and death. All right, let's look at 12.8. Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashishyasi mayeva ata urdvangna sangshayaha. So now Krishna is continuing. What he says? He says, just fix your mind upon me. Maya. Maya means me. Mayeva. Mana adarsva. Only to me. Fix your mind. So just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always, without a doubt. So what is this? How we can understand this? So Krishna says, we fix our mind upon him, upon Krishna. So how are we supposed to fix our mind upon Krishna? Is simply by chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that is how we engage our mind. And how we engage our intelligence. We engage our intelligence through reading and studying Bhagavad Gita. So we have our subtle body, which is made of mind, intelligence, and ego, right? So how, and we need to utilize it. Okay. Okay. Example. I think I've not shown that to this group. All right. Okay. Let's see how our body is divided. Okay. Now, first, we have, okay, this is called the gross body. Okay. We call this as the gross body. Okay. This is the, oops, sorry. Okay. This is the gross body. And what do we have in the gross body? We have that 5 element called earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So we have these 5 elements. Are you all following me? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay. This is how the body is made of. The body is made of these 5 elements. Now, the body also have 5 senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, what is the 5 senses we have? We have smell, right? We have sight. We got eyes to see. We have ears, hearing, right? All right, touch and taste. All right, we have ears. There's a 5 senses. The body is made of 5 elements over here, and here is the 5 senses. And above that, we also have another thing called working senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is that working senses? That means we have voice. Okay, we have hands, legs, anus, and genital. Right? So we also have all these things. All right. So this is all based on your gross body. And of course, there's another thing called, there is a knowledge acquiring senses. All right. I don't want to go detail, just this is sufficient. This is all made of gross body. And inside this gross body, we have another body. Okay. We have another body, which we call it as the subtle body. Okay. We have another body called subtle body. Okay. We have subtle body. And this subtle body is like this. Okay. This is the subtle body. So what is the subtle body? Subtle body have 3 elements. Okay. They have 1, 2, and 3. And what are they? They are known as mind, intelligent, and the third one is called ego. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean, mind, intelligence, and ego? Okay. See, you see, whatever feeling, happiness, distress, or whatever that we are experiencing, it doesn't come from our gross body. It doesn't come from this body. It comes through the subtle body, the body that cannot be seen. We have two types of body, and that is mind, intelligence, and ego. So these three things is the one that always in conflict. Example, say when I hear something, when I hear something bad, when people call me with some kind of bad name or whatever, I get very angry. Right? Where the anger come from? Is it anger come from these five elements, or anger come from these five senses, or working senses, or knowledge acquiring senses? Where it come from? Right? Suddenly the anger, frustration, love, affection, feeling, hunger. Where do all these things come from? Suddenly when the thing instigate, now is the time I need to be hungry. Ting, then your stomach feel hungry and naturally. So where is it come from? It's all come from our subtle body. So the subtle body means the first, whatever information, example, there is some info, right? There's some objects, okay. Now there is some kind of information available here. Okay, there is some kind of information here. So what happened? First, all right, the knowledge will be sent to that first thing. Okay, let me see. I take this one. Okay, when such thing happen, all right, when something happen, first it will be captured by the mind. The mind capture it. After the mind capture it, it's sent to the intelligence. Intelligence, what the intelligence do? Will process it and send back the information back to the mind. All right. So the mind will make a decision. So after the mind make a decision, the mind will send the information to what they call ego. So the ego, what will do? It will engage all these senses, all right, to react. Are you all following me on this? So the one that controls our senses are the this thing, mind, intelligence, and ego. And inside here, all right, inside this inside this subtle body, there's another thing called, this is the place where the soul resides. This is the soul. Okay. The soul, this is okay, this is the soul. Okay, so this is what it says. That means when we are, that's what Krishna says here. When a person want to purify. So when we leave this body, my dear devotees, when we leave this body, what actually happened? The gross body dies. The body that made from the earth, water, fire, air, and ether dies. When this thing dies, the senses shut down. All that other, this thing, everything shut down. So the one who dies is actually your gross body. All right? The one who dies is actually your gross body. The gross body dies. So when the gross body dies, what happened? Your subtle body is the one who goes and accept another body. Are you all following me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes.
So the subtle body will go forward to accept another body. When that subtle body go and accept the body of a dog, example, all right, it will also have that mind, intelligence, ego. The mind will adjust the subtle body according to that dog nature. It will have a different types of ears, and the senses of the tongue is high. So like that. So the subtle body get adjusted in every form of human of life that we have taken. Right? So the subtle body with this element, right? This element of mind, intelligent ego is very, very, very important. We only can be elevated to the next level, all right, of going back home, back to Godhead, and not written here anymore, just with the help of mind and intelligence. Ego is normal. When mind and intelligence become purified, the ego become pacified. Right? When people start to call you some names, okay, like for instance, people call me Kling, oi, Kling, Kling, kya, Kling, Kling. I won't get angry. Why? Because I start to understand I'm not this body. You can go on calling me any names you like. I'm not affected because I'm not this body. So what happened? The ego become pacified. Before that, when people call me that word, I get very angry. Right? I go and punch, or even I can go and fight. Yes or not? Like the day, a few days ago, I saw that one guy was on a motorbike, or a super bike, and suddenly there's another car at the back. A Chinese lady was driving, and beside, I think the husband or the father, whatever, holding a baby. The baby, at the traffic light, the baby want to go near the mother and suddenly press the horn. When he pressed the horn, the super bike fellow got so angry, he got down and just punched the car, boom, and went in and shouted at the lady. Right? Shouted at the lady. Oh, then after that, when he started to see, then he just started to realize that the baby is the one that pressed on, he just got up and went off. So what happened? When the horn is honked, right? So that means, in other words, when accidentally the horn is honked. Okay, this is the symbol. The horn pop honk. So the horn honked, it captured by the mind, processed by the intelligence. What the mind says, how dare you to horn me? It's already a red light. Why do you honk at me? The intelligence says, yes, this person is crazy. You cannot let him be. You have to go and fight because you are a millionaire. You know, you are reading a super bike. You are cool. You are great. So the mind, then intelligence will send back the info to the mind. The mind will send info to the ego, and the ego will start to react. Get down. Using that, the 5 senses. Through the sense of 5 and this all these senses, using the gross body, he got down, punched the car, went in and created a fight. But he went there, then he realized it was accidentally the baby step on the horn. What happened? So the mind says, oh, the body says, the intelligence says, oh, okay, it's a mistake. Never mind, don't do anything. The intelligence start to give information back to the mind. What the mind will do, the mind will process and send back to the ego. And what the ego will say, don't ask sorry, just take the thing and just go away. So the ego says that, and the senses will start to act accordingly. So that means this is the thing over this side, the gross body, it is only a functional as per instruction. It doesn't function by itself. So we need to utilize. So now what happened? We are purifying our mind by chanting the Hare Krishna, because the mind thinks in vibration. We chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The mind gets purified. All right? And the mind starts to send information to the intelligence. So intelligence start to process. Hey, actually, this is something quite unique, But after that, the intelligence says, let me get for you info. So what the intelligence will do? The intelligence will start to read Bhagavad Gita. When we study Bhagavad Gita, we are purifying our intelligence. Chanting, purifying the mind. Reading, purify the intelligence. So now when the mind is purified, send the message to the intelligence. The intelligence says, yes, actually you are right. This thing, send back to the mind. The mind will send to that ego, and the ego become pacified. When people call you Kling or whatever, you just start to say, well, I am not this body. The intelligence says, you're not this body. Mind says, yes, you are right. You're not this body. So what the ego says, so what should I do? Tolerate. Right? Tolerate. So like that, the process starts. So I'm giving a very rough way of explaining the scenario. I hope you all understand. Huh?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Now let's, okay. So that's what it's mentioned here. Just fix your mind upon me. So when we start to fix the mind upon Krishna, how we fix the mind upon Krishna? By chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? And engage all your intelligence in me. How? You need to have a purified intelligence. You purify intelligence by reading that Bhagavad Gita. So when these two happen, thus you will live with me always. There's no doubt. Okay? 12.9. So now Krishna is continuing. Atta chittang samadatung na shaknosi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mach ichhaptum dhananjaya my dear Arjuna, the winner of wealth, Dhananjaya means winner of wealth. If you cannot fix your mind, now Krishna gives him option. Okay, now, the first option he says, just fix your mind and engage your intelligence. Then after that, Krishna is saying, but if you cannot fix your mind, example, oh, I'm still new. I want to fix my mind, I cannot. It's okay. All right. What Krishna suggests, if you cannot fix your mind with me without deviation, all right, then follow the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga. Follow the rules and regulation. Okay. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Okay, I cannot fix my mind. I cannot this thing. So what I do, I start to follow the rules and regulations. Right? I chant the Hare Krishna without fail, and I start to cook. I do the chanting, and I'm doing this japa meditation. I'm cooking in the temple. I'm traveling and preaching. I'm distributing Bhagavad Gita and all these things. All right, if you cannot fix your mind, at least do that. So what happens if you do that? Krishna says, in this way, develop a desire to attain me. Of course, you go back to that desire. But the process is, when you do this, you develop the desire. But after that, Krishna says, Abhyasepi asamartosi mat karma paramo bhava madartam api karmani kurvan siddhim avapshasi. Then Krishna says, it's okay if you cannot do that. If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, oh, I cannot practice Bhakti Yoga, very hard for me. It's okay. Then just try to work for me. Krishna says, just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. At least you start to work for me, you come. That's why I'm saying I create this thing called RDC formula. First, you read to intelligence thing, but you have to work for Krishna. How? By distributing Bhagavad Gita. All right. The next class, the session, we're going to start the 18 days program like this, Gita Gyan. Go and promote. Promote the idea. Tell each of you, tell at least 2%, come and join this session. And you see how your life can be transformed. You are working for Krishna. Okay. You are becoming the tool of Krishna. Okay. But if you do that, you will at least come to that perfect stage. Then Krishna also continues. But still, ataitat apya shaktosi kartum mat yogam ashrita sarva karma pala tyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. Then Krishna says, if, however, you're unable to work, say, I cannot work for you, Krishna. I cannot do RDC. I can read and chant, but not distribute. Okay, I can read, I can chant, but I cannot distribute your books. I cannot do all these things. I cannot work for you. So Krishna says, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me. Then try to act giving up the result of your work and try to be self-situated. So what Krishna says, try to give up the result of your work. Just do your job without expecting any benefit. Just do your job. Right? Example, like you see these two photos here. Look at this Akshay Khanna giving a donation. When he give donation, how he give? He made into a big, huge mock check and informed the whole world is giving the donation. Look at these people. They are just giving away. They are showing off. Say, don't do that. Do it very discreetly. Right? Giving up the result. When you do something, you're going to get praise. Just give up the result. Just at least, okay. Just give up your result and try to be self-situated. Okay. Now in 12:12, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasach, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma pala tyagas, tyaga chantir anantaram. Now Krishna says, if you cannot take to this practice, even this also you cannot, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. If you cannot do all this, at least take up Bhagavad Gita and take up Srimad Bhagavatam. Cultivate the knowledge just for the sake of reading and educating yourself. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. All right? And better than meditation is renunciation. That means you give up all the fruits of action. For such renunciation, one can attain at least peace of mind. So better than knowledge is meditation. Meditation means chanting, japa meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation. You totally renounce everything. That means you're not attached to anything. So when you're not attached to anything, so at least you have peace of mind. Okay. Example, once upon a time, we did a simple life. We had no problem. But suddenly we become rich. We build a big house. We have big problem. Okay. We need to have that CCTV camera and all this. That means you don't have peace of mind. That's why I said, I used to say in my other training, I said, to be successful is not easy. It's not tough. You know, if you want to be successful in life, it's not tough at all. It's very easy. Anybody can be very successful. All right. You want to be a millionaire, anybody can be successful. But to maintain that success is the toughest thing to do. All right. To maintain that success, to maintain your position is very tough. Right. Just like Lee Chong Wei, he was playing badminton, he was a world champion. Right. He understood it very well. Right. He won, he was world number one. He know that Lin Dan will definitely defeat him one day. Before anything like that could happen, he resigned. He said, I'm old, I got some injury, I better resign. So till today, he is known as undisputed world number one. Right? So like that. So what I'm saying is renunciation. So that means he, he resigned. So in others, what happened? He still maintain his status. All right. So like that. So that's why when you see, when people become world number one, they're still healthy and active, but they'll resign. They say, enough. Okay, I think it's enough. I want to retire. Why? That. So in order to be successful, anybody can be successful. To manage it is the toughest thing. So what happens if you just renounce it? Just do your job. Whether you're successful or not, just live in renunciation. All right. When you do that, at least you can attain peace of mind. Okay. The progressive stage in devotion, number 1, 12.8, what Krishna says, mind fixed in Krishna. That means live in relationship with Krishna. That's the tip of the iceberg. Right. Number 2, regulative principle of bhakti. So develop the desire to serve Krishna. Okay. Number 3, 12.10, Krishna says, work for Krishna. Come to the stage of devotional service. And number 4, renunciation, cultivation of knowledge, meditation, purification, peace, and gradual development. So what we do? So now in the pyramid, we start from the bottom. So now step 1, what we do? We start to cultivate knowledge and meditation through japa and reading. That's why I say RDC for R and C, reading and chanting. Now you all understand where I got this formula from? So I created this formula from here. Read and chant. Okay. After you're convinced, you come to number 3, work for Krishna. Distribute the Bhagavad Gita. Engage yourself in distribution. Right? And number 2, then after you're okay, then you come to the second stage. You start to follow the regulative principle. Okay, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. But if I were to tell you early itself, it's something very hard. That's why I don't know whether in this session, I think in previous session, when they said, I cannot give up this habit, I said, who asked you to give up? Don't give up. You must understand this habit is a strong desire. Very strong desire. You should cultivate number 4 very nicely. Cultivate number 3 very nicely. You get a higher taste, you can practice number 2 easily. If not, you're going to fake it. Remember in Bhagavad Gita what we said? When you are renouncing it, but your mind still dwells in that subject, you're called the what? Can anyone tell me? You're called what?
Pretender.
Very good. Pretender. You are known as the pretender. When you give up the thing and your mind is still thinking about it, like for example, you're fasting. All right. The day Ekadasi you're fasting, suddenly you'll be thinking, oh my God, how nice if I can eat this. Only in Ekadasi day your hunger will go. He's pretending. Right? So develop the desire. So after you follow the regulated principle and everything, you're so perfect, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're distributing, you got a higher taste, you don't have urge to do all these kind of things and have all the sinful act. Then you come to number 1, 12.8, you fixed your mind in Krishna. That's when you live in relationship with Krishna. So go from 4, 3, 2, 1. It may take, you can do it in this birth itself, or it may take several births. But it's okay. The process has started. Right? Now in this birth, you can be someone, engineer, doctor, whatever, educated. When you're born again, you have to study ABC again. You cannot straight away can tell, in previous birth, I'm a doctor, so this birth I continue. No such thing. You still have to start. But bhakti is not like that. In previous birth, where you stopped, Lakhs birth, I stop at 10%. These birth, I continue from the 10%, 11% onwards. Right? Until I perfected. Say this is all we divide to 25%. These 25% I perfectly done it. Maybe I take around 3 births to complete this 24. This number 4. Then on the 4th birth, the 4th birth that I take, I'm going to continue with number 3. Work for Krishna. Okay. Once I become perfect, then I go to number 2. I perfect it. Then at last I go to number 1 live. And maybe after 6, 7 birth, I go back home, back to Godhead. It's better to be that because Krishna says there's no loss and diminution. Even a small effort can save you from the greatest type of danger. And the process has begun. It will continue until you become perfect. The perfection sometimes doesn't happen overnight. But if you have that desire, you can get it done. Example, if you are a very greedy person, all right, we are greedy in life, all right, we are greedy in life. Sometimes we want to have a house and we want to put something nice. No, we are basically human beings are greedy. But now, in material life, we are greedy. So why not be greedy in your spiritual life? Right? Be greedy in your spiritual life. How to be greedy? Right? Why not start the process of cultivation of pure knowledge and meditation? All right? You start this cultivation. How? By RNC formula. Read Bhagavad Gita daily and chant your 16 rounds. At least for the sake of it, just simply chant. Whether you got taste, you are distracted, doesn't matter. You just take the chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It has magic. It will somehow or other will come and heal you and will take you to this thing. Then after that's why I ask you to add on D, distribute, work for Krishna. Not only R and C. R and C is for number 4. D, distribute for the book. You're working for Krishna. So that means you are, while attempting to perfect your number 4, you are also utilizing number 3. When these two things happen, you could just go on chanting and reading and distributing. You can come to the level whereby you can easily start to practice your regulative principle. Okay. Regulate. So once you start to finish your you start to, when you start to control your senses, okay, I like to drink coffee and I'm going to stop drinking coffee. Right? Example. So when that thing happened, what happened? You want to utilize the sense of taste, the tongue, you're sacrificing it because you want to utilize it for Krishna. You want to eat meat. All right. Eat meat is satisfying to your tongue. It gives happiness, nourishment. You know, sometimes you can ask the meat eater when they eat mutton, they feel, wow, so good. But you're giving it up. That's killing animal, cruelty and everything is secondary. But actually you're giving up for the sake of Krishna because you want to attain Krishna. And this is the biggest hindrance because anytime you eat meat, it will stay in your body for 7 years. Right? The fiber is digested, but the thing that turns into protein, fat, blood, all stay in your body at least for 7 years. Right? After that, only your body is fully cleansed. All right. So, so they say, then what should I do? Okay, I want to give up. I still can't give up meat, but I'm giving it up for the sake of Krishna. Because I know I need to do this. All right. Because this is one of the regulative principles which is sinful. But you're not afraid of sin. You're not afraid of going to hell. You are afraid of wasting your time of not attaining the higher taste. All right. When the thing will come, when you start to become perfect in 4 and 3. So you start to follow the regulative principle naturally. Okay. Then after that, you come to number 1. Then you easily come to the level of live in relationship with Krishna. When you see among all the religious process that we have outside, there are so many religious process. Hare Krishna is the toughest one. And yet so many people are staying here and they're feeling so blissful. Because we are regulating our mind, our senses, our habit naturally. We are not imitating. We are not pretending. Like one girl I told you from Singapore, she loves to eat pork and she loves to drink tequila. She said, what should I do, Prabhu? I said, go ahead and enjoy your pork and go ahead and enjoy your tequila. She loves to eat bakute. I said, go ahead. But I'm chanting. should I said, I didn't say there's no such thing says that you have to be a vegetarian to chant Hare Krishna. You can chant Hare Krishna in any environment. Remember the story of a prostitute I told you in Chennai, in India? A prostitute was reading Bhagavad Gita while doing a job in a brothel, while engaging herself with the customer, with the client, and in between she reads the Bhagavad Gita. And today she's one of the good devotee, good standing devotee. Even a prostitute can be elevated in this very birth itself. How about us? Think about it. Right? So what you need to do? You need to be greedy. You need to have desire. You need to be greedy. But that greedy also, you shouldn't imitate. You shouldn't fake yourself. Straight away, I want to live with Krishna in relationship. Then you're gone case. You are pretending. That's why Krishna earlier itself, he warned you. Take your step by step. So now, make a goal that you're going to perfect number 4. That means R and C. Read and chant, perfect it. You're going to take 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, perfect the thing. Then in between, try to distribute some Bhagavad Gita. Work for Krishna. Right? And you start to see how fantastically you will grow in your bhakti. Any questions? You all understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. Now, right? So, text 13 and text 19, they're talking about qualities of devotees. So, what is the qualities of the devotees? All right? So, number 1, dealing with the Lord. Determine, right? The qualities of the devotee who are really advanced. Okay, what happened to the devotees who have fixed their mind in Krishna, who are very advanced? How they look? Krishna, Arjuna will ask. So, what is their qualities? Right? So that means when they deal with the Lord, they are very determined. Their mind and intelligence fixed on the Lord. They engage in devotional service. Right? So when they're dealing with other living entity, number 2, when they dealing with other living entity, they are non-envious, away from contaminating association. That means when they deal with other devotees or other living entities, right? Other living entities, you become non-envious. It's very important sometimes. Sometimes when you feel, after being a devotee, you feel I've wasted my life. I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have this. Look at the fella, not even a devotee is having a fantastic gala life, driving a big Mercedes Benz, enjoying life. I become a devotee, what happened? These kind of thoughts will somehow or other will destroy your bhakti. It's very normal to happen. So dealing with other living entities, first thing we should be non-envious. Right? And secondly, we also must stay away from contaminating association. I mean, any association that's going to waste your time. Right? Sometimes, hey, come yum cha, go and drink tea, then sit there, talk nonsense, talk about girls, talk about Netflix. Right? Now, those are 40s, 46. Now people are talking about what is that? What kind of new medicine? Who got a diabetic? How many children? Are you struggling with the children? All this kind of nonsense talk. Okay, when they're young, they talk about girls, right? And after marriage, they're talking about handling the wife. Then after that, when they start to have children, they talk about what is the best school for children. So once they grow up, they talk about what is my son is married, this thing. After 60, 70, 80, what they talk about, hey, the fellow's still alive. Hey, the fellow's still alive. When you say, hey, old man, you still alive? I've seen in my own eyes. When 2 old men get together, the fellow look at him, hey, you, I tell you a date, you still alive. Yalla. Hey, what happened to the fellow? The fellow died already. It all depends on this. So all these are unnecessary association. Avoid. Number 3, attitude towards oneself. That means when attitude towards himself, what? Is free from sense of proprietorship. I am the doer. I am the greatest. I made this person a devotee. Therefore, I'm great. All that sense of proprietorship out. Second is false ego. What is that? I'm not his body, first of all. Then endeavor. You have to work hard. Endeavor. That means you always try to endeavor. Chant 16 rounds, you try to go more. Okay, now I've already read Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Should I just try my luck in Srimad Bhagavatam? Okay, endeavoring. You go on endeavoring. Okay, that is attitude towards oneself. When things happen to him. Number 4, What happened when the reaction, when things happen to him? Okay, first of all, he'll be very satisfied. Okay, he'll be very satisfied. He's always satisfied. Whatever simple thing happen, he's satisfied, easily satisfied. He doesn't say not enough, go more. He's equipoised. That means he's steady in he's very steady. Equipoised means very steady. Right? He doesn't, not left, not right, very steady. Tolerant. If anything goes wrong, he simply tolerate it. He won't ask, God, why me? All right? He simply tolerate. When people call, such a useless or whatever, I just tolerate. Because, we are not this body. So this is the qualities of a devotee. Sometimes you may think, oh my God, can I do all this? Get to know the qualities. Later, cultivate it towards it. Right? When something happened to me, oh, I'm very determined. That means, okay, you got the quality of the devotee. Check and balance. Remember, I asked you to check and balance. Get a journal. Write what you have done today. Okay, something happened. I tolerate it. That means you are falling in this number 4. That means you got the number 4th quality of tolerant. Yes, I got that quality of tolerant. Then again, check and balance. How long can you tolerate? Always check yourself. Life is not a random thing. It is scientific. Right? Now, let's look at this. Satisfied nature of the devotee. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 14, text 8, it says, Tatte nukampan susamekshamano bunjana evatma kritang vipakam kridvag vapurbir vidadan namaste jiveta yo mukti pade sadayabak. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reaction of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, word, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Okay? What it says here, my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him. That means one who are earnestly, that means waiting, anxiously waiting. When the Krishna going to give me the causeless mercy. Okay. So that means while he was patiently suffering the reaction of past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart. So while waiting for that causeless mercy, he patiently in silently is suffering of the reaction that he have done in the past. Right? And all the misdeeds that he have done. All right. And at the same time, he's offering you respectful obeisances. Even with all that pain and suffering, he still offered the respectful obeisances. All right. With his heart. Krishna, I've done so much of mistake. I've done this, I've done that. Please forgive me, Krishna. All right. Even in that painful situation. All right. Okay. He offered the obeisances from his heart through the word and also the body. And he says, he is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So, we are all conditioned soul. We all have done mistake in life. Sometimes our belief system will carry on with us. All right. Maybe in our normal dealing of life, we can be a very cunning person. We can be a very short-tempered person. We can be a crazy, nasty person. All right. After that, when we become a devotee, we still sometimes carry that habit with us. We can be very nasty. We can be very disrespectful to others. There's so many situations might be there, right? And because of that, we are suffering the consequences. That means we know that people don't like us, don't talk to us, right? But carrying that pain in our heart, we are offering obeisance to the Lord, through the words and body and all this, we are repenting. So what it says here, these are the people is eligible for liberation. Okay, because it has become his rightful claim. That means to claim for liberation is something rightful when we engage like this. You all understand this thing? Anyone have any question on this? You all understand?
Understand, Prabhu.
Okay. Shyang Prabhu, want to say something?
Oh, wonderful. I think the explanation is enough to understand.
Okay, all right. Now, let's look at 20. Yetu dharmamritam idam. All right. Yetu dharmamritam idam yatoktam paryupasate shraddadana mat parama bhaktaste tivate te tiyame priya. Now Krishna says those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service. Now Krishna is saying those who follow this path, who completely engage themselves with faith, right? They engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Now, Bhaktaste Tiya Me Priya. Bhakta means devotee, Priya means beloved. So those who follow this imperishable path, imperishable means the path that you have taken is never destroyed by time or birth. It's going to continue, okay, of devotional service. At the same time, completely engage themselves with faith. Okay, when they chant Hare Krishna, they have faith, with faith and everything, making me the supreme goal. What is the supreme goal? That I want to attain him. I want to go to him. I want to enjoy myself with him. I want to dance with him. I want to sing with him. I want to have good time with him. The supreme goal. And Krishna says are very, very dear to me. So the conclusion of this chapter, the way that we satisfy Krishna, that Krishna spoke about this comparison of this Bhakti, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, then what else? Dhyana, Jnana, then okay. First we spoke about Dhyana Yoga. That means the divine distinct. Then we also spoke about Gyan, knowledge, and also Dhyana, meditation. Okay, Jnana, Dhyana, meditation. All right. So all these things he was speaking. But when he came to Bhakti Yoga, he ended the chapter with this statement. Bhaktaste tiya me priyaha. Okay, he says those who engage in this imperishable path, they are very, very dear to me. So this is what Krishna wanted from us. Text 12:20, memorize it, or you note it, or you want to take a snapshot, or if not, note in the book, and always contemplate. What is this all about? All right. So what are the devotional service we can do? We can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare daily. We read the Bhagavad Gita daily. We put a tulasi. We put a plant. We cultivate tulasi plant. Worship the tulasi. Or we cook some nice palatable food and we offer it to Krishna. The offering of food for Krishna should be free from onion, garlic, and meat. All right, onion, garlic, and meat. Avoid all these things. Egg. Just simply offer the food which is purely prepared with love and offer it to Krishna. It's simple as that. All right. Now, let me explain to you the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? So the transcendental vibration established by the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method of reviving our Krishna conscious. That means to revive. Right? We are all originally a Krishna conscious entity, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by the material atmosphere. So that means we are originally Krishna conscious entity, but when we start to associate with matter, we've forgotten. Sometimes when a prince or a millionaire start to associate with these normal people, after some time, he forgets that he's actually the prince. Right? He became part of them. Okay? So the material atmosphere in which we are now living, the material atmosphere that we are living is called Maya or illusion. Maya means that which is not. And what is this illusion? What is this illusion? The illusion is that we are all trying to be Lord of material nature. So the illusion is we are all trying to be the Lord. We have all our minute thing. No, we want to be Lord. We want to control. Okay. We want to be a rich man. We want to be a millionaire so that we can have a lot of profit. We want to be powerful. We want to control. We want to be the Lord. Okay. That is illusion. Okay. The illusion that we all try to be lords of material nature, while actually we are under the grip of a stringent laws. Just like today when you see, what do you call? Joe Biden, 80 something, grand old man, still fighting to become the next president of America. All right. Donald Trump, who is also around 80 something, also wants to become the fighting for the American presidency. Even in Malaysia, you see Mahathir is already 99, going 100, still is crazy. He wants to be the leader. Right? The desire for this kind of power will last until the last breath. So when they try to lord over the material nature, this is called the illusion. Right? Example, like what Prabhupada gave is brilliant example. When a servant artificially tried to imitate all-powerful master. Okay, the servant. We have a servant or maid in the house. She tried to be artificially imitate the all-powerful master. This is called illusion. You all understand this? When we have a maid, suddenly the maid tried to be the master of the house. It's illusion, right? She's a maid. She should do the job. And suddenly she become the master in the house. Okay, this is called illusion. In this polluted concept of life, so Prabhupada explained this place, this thing called the polluted concept. It's so much of pollution. We are all trying to exploit the resource of material nature. Right? Like now what happened in Ipoh. All right? There's an area called Gunung Rapat at behind the Gunung Rapat area. They are leveling the mountains. They are leveling. When they are leveling, they're cutting all the quarrying, uncontrolled quarry. What happened? There's a free flow wind. The mountain is supposed to block the wind. But now there's a free flow wind. And because of the free flow wind, that area Gunung Rapat is experiencing the natural disaster which is never seen before. Strong wind, the what they call the bumbung and all that, the thing all got blown off, easily flooding. You know, I think Rusan Mataji is from there. Right? So the place is getting bad because we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature. But actually, we are becoming more and more entangled in her complexity. We are getting stuck in it. Therefore, although we are engaged in hard struggle to conquer nature, we are struggling so hard to conquer the nature. We are ever more dependent on her. We become more and more dependent. This illusory struggle against material nature at once be stopped by the revival of our Krishna consciousness. Okay, the illusory struggle against the material nature can be stopped when we revive our original consciousness. I mean, we are looking towards upwards. Remember, superior energy, marginal, and inferior energy. We are talking about superior energy, right? Okay. So, Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition of the mind. It's not artificial or positioning the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of the living entity. The consciousness is the original living entity. Because when a person dies, what actually lives? Right? Oh, Mr. Chan has died. Oh, why? Mr. Chan is still there. Who died? No, the Chan has died. Yeah, who? I can't see anybody. Still there. What? That means there's a kind consciousness left the body. The original consciousness. That means the body become useless. All right. So you say Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition. This consciousness is the original energy of the living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, that means chanting, this consciousness is revived. When we chant, this consciousness is revived. We get awakened. And this process of chanting Hare Krishna is recommended by authorities of the age. Right? By the great authorities is recommended. By practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. So sometimes when we ask people, can you just chant one round with me? When the person starts chanting, she start to feel or he start to feel some kind of difference. There's no mumbo jumbo. There's no magic show. There's no something that I can catch from the sky and give it to you. There's no word jugglery. I don't simply juggle with my words. Practical and scientific. Just combine this mantra and try to say it for 108 times. See whether there is any difference or not. When they, oh, there's some kind of difference. Yes. Because this is from the spiritual stratum. When one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind, and intelligence. All right. One is situated in transcendental plane. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is directly enacted from the spiritual platform, surpassing all lower stages of consciousness. That means all lower stages goes beyond, namely sensual, mental, and intellectual. There is no need, therefore, to understand the language of the mantra. Yes, very important. Hey, I want to know what mantra is this. What does it mean? It doesn't know. It's not important. You do not need to understand the language of the mantra. Nor there is any need for mental speculation. Oh, I need to do this, so I need to adjust my mind. No need. Or any intellectual adjustment. All right, you don't need to adjust anything for chanting this Maha Mantra. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform. As such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration without any previous qualification. Okay, and dance in ecstasy. We have seen it practically that even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. The chanting should be heard, however, from the lips of a pure devotee of the Lord, so that the immediate effect can be achieved. As far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided, as much as milk touched by the lips of a serpent has poisonous effect. What does this mean? That means when we want to chant Hare Krishna mantra, we should receive the mantra, or we should chant with the devotees. The whole world community, who especially those who are doing this classical music, they know Hare Krishna movement is worldwide movement. It's international society. Many people are coming forward and creating this bhajan, kirtan, Hare Krishna. All right, they bring all kind of songs because they know when they're going to sing this Hare Krishna song in some nice melody, they have worldwide market, like Krishna Das. Have you heard about Krishna Das? Right? He liked to sing this Hanuman song and all this. Oh, you know, he got a very deep voice. Have you heard about him, Krishna Das? Anyone? The famous kirtan singer from America. Hello? Anybody home?
I think I heard his name, but I don't know who he is.
The Krishna Das is actually a person who make this music. Okay, he also sing about Hanuman Chalisa. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Rajo. He got a very deep voice. Jai Hanuman Gyan Guna Sagar Jaya Kapis Tihu Loka Ujag. Very accelerating with all the latest music gadget. And he also sings about Jai Mahadev, and he sings about Durga. He sings everything. And also he started to sing on Hare Krishna. Why? Because the whole Hare Krishna population around the world will accept it. That is the miss. That's why these kind of people who are doing the show for the sake of money, we should avoid. Just like how the milk touched by the lips of a serpent. I mean, when the snake touched the lips of milk, the whole milk will become poison. The word Hare is a form of addressing the Lord of the Lord, energy of the Lord. So Hare means we are addressing the energy of the Lord, which we call Ladini Shakti. And the words Krishna and Ram are the forms directly addressing the Lord. So that means when Krishna and Ram is addressing straight away the Lord. Both Krishna and Ram means the highest pleasure. Right? That means Ram means highest pleasure. Krishna means the most beautiful one. Also pleasure. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency. That means Hare is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. All right, which is also called as Ladini Shakti. This potency addressed as Hare helps us reaching the Supreme Lord. So again, the word Hare means Radha Rani. You all got it? The material energy called Maya is also one of the multi-potency of the Lord. That means this material is also part of the potency of the Lord. And we, the living entities, are also the energy, which is called the marginal energy of the Lord. Do you remember why marginal? That means we are in between the spiritual and gross. We are in between the spiritual and inferior energy. That's why we call as middle marginal energy. The living entities are described as superior to material energy. So we are supposed to be superior. We are higher than material energy. When the superior energy in contact with inferior energy, that means when we are in contact with the lower energy, which is material, it becomes incompatible situation. That means it becomes a situation where the living entity suffers. But when the superior marginal energy, that means we are in the middle marginal energy, in contact with supreme energy, All right, or the spiritual energy, the top one. Okay, energy called Hara, the living entity established is happy and normal condition. So that means the living entity is establishing in its happy normal condition. So to be happy and blissful is actually the normal condition of living entity. It is not something that, oh, I'm happy, so something great. No, it's supposed to be a normal condition. These three words, namely Hare, Krishna, Rama, are the transcendental seeds of Mahamantra. The chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy, Hara. When we're calling upon the Lord and his internal energy means Radharani, okay? For giving protection to the conditioned soul. The chanting is exactly like a genuine cry of a child for its mother. Mother Hara helps the devotee achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari or Krishna. And the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. I'm telling you something very important. I had a Chinese devotee. She cannot pronounce the word R. When she chants, Ale Krishna, 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 Hale Hale, Ale Lama, 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 Hale Hale. This happened during my early days when I started the Gita Gyan. Right? First batch or second batch. And everybody used to laugh. They say, oh, Mataji, the way you chant so cute. And she said, Ayya, paise, I say, I don't want to chant. I say, don't worry. Go on chanting. Krishna will reveal it. Right? When she go on chanting, Ale Krishna, 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 Ale, Lama, Lama, Ale. So Lama, what does it Lama means? It doesn't mean anything. Lama means old. Or Lama means the Buddhist monk, Lama. But she was so sincere. So Krishna, he says that I reveal myself to the devotee who chants his mantra sincerely. She tried. Eventually, suddenly something happened. She could pronounce the word R. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And today she's one of the fantastic devotees. Okay. No other means of spiritual realization is effective. There's no other mean. That means so many other means of meditation, fire sacrifice, ritual, all these are considered nothing as effective in this age as chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just by chanting this mantra, you can achieve perfection. RDC formula, read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, and chant Hare Krishna. Right? So with this, we end the session for today. It has been my great pleasure to be with all of you. Exactly 9:33. All right, just 3 minutes overshoot. So it's my great pleasure. And on this auspicious day, we are sitting and discussing the chapter 12 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, is the most important chapter. So after this program, I hope that you all go back and read your chapter 12. It's only 20 verses, short chapter. And also the purpose, try to understand, okay? Not coming here and after that, you don't do it. You have to go on reading your Bhagavad Gita and you start to see how your life transformed. Okay? So is there any questions, any comment? So Shanti, Samantha, Mataji, I think we had a discussion yesterday.
Yes.
Today we had that, we studied in that Bhagavad Gita Mahatmya, what Krishna says, I live in Gita.
I live in Gita.
Yes, not the Gita Mahatmya, I live in Gita. So when I live in Gita means, what does that mean? Do you need to worry about your vastu? Do you need to? No, nothing. Nothing will happen. Krishna lives in Gita. So when you keep a Gita in your altar, when you start to worship Gita, not simply Sambrani, but when you start to read, you start to see how the life will be transformed. Your vastu, your jadagam, your astrology, everything is taken care. Right? Everything is taken care. I am not speculating. All this because once upon a time I was crazy. I was so crazy going after vastu. Oh, hi, Hare Krishna. Yeah.
It's my daughter, I told.
I see.
So,
Nice.
yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I have been such a crazy person going after this vastu, going after astrology. In fact, I studied astrology just to pacify myself because I don't trust astrologer. Right?
Mhm.
Then after that, I went into this numerology, start to change my name here and there, confusing myself, always adjusting my name until my spiritual master gave me the name Padita Tarna Jagannath Das. That's it. I say, I take the name as it is. Then after that, studying the Bhagavad Gita in depth, detail, I start to realize Krishna is living in Bhagavad Gita and Krishna is right in front of me on my desk. All right. And I'm holding it, I'm touching it, and I'm worshipping it by studying the Bhagavad Gita. And after going through all this kind of, I'm not self-reading, self-studying astrology and all this, I come to that conclusion. When we surrender to Krishna, nothing else matters. If you don't surrender to Krishna, everything matters. Right? The astrological challenges, the Vastu. Because if you look at this world now, right, there's no place in this world you can have a perfect space to live. Right? Actually, for everyone, I'm just telling, because Shanti Mataji was saying that for me to discuss about this.
Question.
Suddenly I remember, right? So
Yeah.
nothing actually matters. All right. When sometimes they say, if you, okay, because I studied Vastu and I used to give, I used to teach on Vastu. I used to do consultation, not so great, but at a very bare minimum level, right? In fact, my house that I'm living also, I changed according to the Vastu, everything. But still, does that mean that I don't fall sick? Does that mean I don't quarrel with my wife? Does that mean that my children don't become, go against me? Does that mean that I don't get frustrated, angry? Yes, it happens. Because this world is dukkalayam asasvatam. This whole world is meant to suffer. Whether you live in a Vastu perfect house or you live in a Vastu imperfect house, the suffering is guaranteed. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. So therefore, when we live in this place which is full of fault, the only solution that we can think of is chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita, worship Bhagavad Gita, and you keep the Bhagavad Gita in your house, sit in the middle of the house and start read Bhagavad Gita, and you start to see how your house will transform. In fact, I used to do this, a Ghostbuster job when I was young, when I was early 20s. I was just thinking, I just say, hey, one friend of mine got one particular room was haunted. And I just tried, okay, let me go and try some Ghostbuster job. What I did, I brought the Bhagavad Gita and I just opened the Bhagavad Gita and start chanting Hare Krishna, or chant Bhagavad Gita, and I just think about it. I just say, hey, look here, you don't have body, you just get out. I told the ghost, no mumbo jumbo, no mantra, no weple, no fire, no nothing, no samurai, nothing. I just read the Bhagavad Gita and of course, the room is very hot. We can feel some kind of negative energy there. So I was reading. And then I just look around. I said, hey, look here, you don't have a gross body. You better get out from this place. All right? You just get out. And immediately the thing happened. But after that, I just tried this as a trial and error, as a naughty boy. When I was young, I was very naughty. I just tried this. But eventually that person says they managed to get rid of that evil spirit and they want to fix me with so many appointments. I said, no, I'm not a bomo. I just simply tried what I have heard. It worked. Have full faith in Bhagavad Gita, full faith in chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, right? And I heard you said that your daughter the name was given by Jayapataka Maharaj, huh?
Yes, Jay.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. What's the name?
Premanchana.
Premanchana. Wow.
Premanchana.
Amazing.
And
36 years
at
ago.
that time,
Maharaj,
I didn't know much about Krishna. But my grandfather used to chant when we were very young, used to be Ramar Bhattar, Ramar and
Okay.
Krishna. He used to chant. He was from India. So, and he keep all his children's name also, all Krishna name, Rama, Krishna and all that, Padmavati and all that. So now, I don't know, now only we are.
So there's something amazing. Said suddenly a spiritual master come and give a name to her. It's something very beautiful, something very amazing.
No, she
So-
was born also at Prabhuji. I don't know from Yal or where. At that time, I don't not much of the Krishna concept. He came, gave this
yeah, you
Bhagavad
told me
Gita book.
that kept the Bhagavad Gita on the head. Yeah,
And it was there, and I didn't use it.
I see. All right. So,
But
so that
the
means the
time-
Bhagavad Gita is coming and revisiting you again, giving you a second chance, that opportunity, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's why we studied. I think because you just came, but previously we studied that There's no loss or diminution in this act of bhakti. Once you attempt in bhakti, some or other Krishna, it's just like Krishna, you have taken the bait. You know, when people do fishing.
Mm.
So I've seen in a documentary, I've not seen real life fishing. They say the art of, if at all, if you catch a big fish, all right, what they do? They throw the bait, and suddenly a big fish catch it, take the bait. They cannot immediately pull, They let go the fish and pull.
Oh, one
So they let go, and after that the fish will run. The flow let go, and pull again. So the thing will be more and more in deep. That means it really stick
Yes.
in your phalanx.
Alright.
After that, you struggle until the fish become tired. Then swiftly pull the fish out. So in other words, you have taken the Krishna's bait. You have taken the bait. You run. Then Krishna pull you back. Oh, you still don't listen? Run. Okay, run, and pull you back. Eventually you come back. Because Krishna wants us back very badly.
Badly.
There's a story of prodigy father in Bible. All right, the prodigy father, the son always went against the father. All right, he became so angry with the father, he fight and went off. The father was a millionaire. And he says, I don't want anything from me. He went there, until he couldn't do anything, he became a beggar. All right, the son became a beggar. And the father always sitting and meditating, when my son will come back, when my son will come back. Right, until one day the son can't take it anymore. He became beggar and he was like so frail and he's so tired. And he walked back. When the father saw the son coming, he rushed out. He said, my son, and went and gave him a hug. Like that, Krishna is waiting for us in spiritual world. I'm not speculating. Krishna is waiting for us to come back. That is why Krishna sends all these preceptors. Krishna sends Srila Prabhupada. And during the middle age, Krishna sends, like Jesus, sent him. Go there and revive back the people into spirituality. And in Kali Yuga, Krishna sent Srila Prabhupada. And when Srila Prabhupada came, he didn't come alone. There's so many other great devotees were born, and the situation was prepared, just like setting the scene.
Yeah.
Right? All got together and everything to save the world from this madness. All right?
Yeah.
So basically that's the thing. So I hope that you take this and always chant Hare Krishna. Keep Bhagavad Gita as a center of your life. Make Bhagavad Gita as a lifestyle. And tell your daughter to carry Bhagavad Gita wherever she go. Because Krishna says all the holy abodes lives in Bhagavad Gita. And I always advise that. The best protection you have, number one is Tulsi Mala. Number two is Bhagavad Gita. Carry your Bhagavad Gita wherever you go.
She must carry Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Carry. You put in your handbag or whatever. Or maybe, it's okay. If you have a small Bhagavad Gita with you, just carry with you. Like last time I used to go and give talk. I used to give talk on motivation, and I'm a Forex trainer. I used to teach on Forex. So at that time, before I start my class, I know that I do a live class, I'll put a Bhagavad Gita on my table first. And whenever unwanted people come in, they just go off. I just say, oh, maybe Krishna doesn't want them. But fair enough, they were the unwanted ones. I mean, I'm not using that. I'm not making it, but I believe Krishna is there with me. So keep Bhagavad Gita handy and make Bhagavad Gita as your lifestyle. Always chant Hare Krishna. First thing when you wake up in the morning, you take out a Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna. And whenever you are sad, look at this, Mataji, whenever you are sad, whenever you think, just take the Bhagavad Gita and pray to Bhagavad Gita. My dear Bhagavad Gita, kindly tell me what I should do and this thing. So you just pray to Bhagavad Gita and you just simply open, you read a verse. Right? Look at this. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly. Purified by sinful reaction, they take birth in pious heavenly planet Indra, where they enjoy godly delight. But then after that, it says, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. See, Krishna wanted me to tell you this. I just opened the Gita. I just opened the Gita and I just say, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion. And what is that exclusive devotion? Simply offer some leaf, some water, some fruits. But if you can afford, do more. Don't say, Krishna only asked for Tulasi, I just give Tulasi. If you eat, whatever, right? So, but those who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, meditate on his form, not any other form. All right? To To them, Krishna says, I carry what they lack. So what you are lacking now, Krishna will provide. At the same time, he says, I preserve what you have. What you have, he will preserve it. So in other
Yes,
words, Krishna doesn't want you to go into anxiety or stress whereby you can forget him. Krishna will make your life very comfortable and very conducive in your attempt of spirituality.
Thank you, Ji.
Look at this 23 in or chapter 9, text 23. Krishna says, those who are devotee of other gods. Say, like you say, you have too many gods in your altar, right? So now Krishna says,
I'm confused.
yeah. Now Krishna is telling this. Look at, if you have Bhagavad Gita, open 9:23, chapter 9, text 23. He says, Ye pyananya devata bhakta yajanti shraddha yanvitaha tepi mam eva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. Krishna says, those who are devotee of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do it in a wrong way.
Oh.
You open 9:23. If you have a Bhagavad Gita, open chapter 9, text 23.
Well, bring the Bhagavad.
Yeah.
I just got battery weak, so I charging the battery here. Get the
Am I?
book now.
If you have the thing, you just open chapter 9, text 23. Krishna says, whatever ways and
My
means that you
altar, my
worship.
altar. Lala.
It's okay, Mataji. I know you're excited. Anyway,
No.
so Krishna says in 9:23, he says,
Yeah,
those
9:20.
those who are devotee of other gods,
Mm.
I mean, there's so many varieties of devatas, demigods that you pray, and who worship them with faith. That means you worship them with faith. You know, you said you do all these prayers in
Soundarya
certain
Lahari, like
days.
the Mahameru and all Lalitam.
Yeah. Now what he says, those who worship them with faith. That means you have faith, you worship them. You actually worship only me.
Altar there. Okay.
It's okay. Come, relax, Mataji, relax.
She's bringing the Srimad Bhagavad.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
I put
Relax.
the puja room there. I came back late. So now I'm
Oh.
charging the. I
Never
came
mind.
down
Listen.
because I'm charging the battery.
Right. Okay, you listen to me first. Listen to me first.
Okay.
Later you can refer. Listen to me first, all right? They said, but
Chapter
those
9.
who worship other God, worship them with faith. That means when you have faith, Krishna says, actually, you worship only me. You're worshipping actually him, but you're doing it very indirectly. But Krishna says, but they do so in a wrong way. That means this Krishna
Chapter 9. Chapter 9:23. Chapter 9:23. Chapter 9.
Okay. So that's
Chapter
the thing.
9:23.
So 9:23.
23.
You keep it. Yeah.
And then follow. And then
21, 22, 23. 20, 21, 23.
23. 21,
20,
22, 23.
21, 22, 23. The 4 verses. You try to
Okay.
see. Krishna
See.
gives you that because that's the thing that suddenly come to you.
Okay. 21, 22, 23 and follow.
I will preserve what you have and I carry what you lack. Right?
Thank
He'll preserve what you have, he carries what you lack, and all these things. So it's a promise of Krishna. Now you should worship Krishna by reading that Bhagavad Gita daily and chant the Hare Krishna. So whenever you're in confused, you just take and open. But of course, you shouldn't make that a habit. I know someone who just simply do that. I say, how do you read Bhagavad Gita? Yes. You just simply Hare Krishna, you open, read enough. Hey, cannot. You have to read from the first. This is sometimes when you are disturbed. When you are disturbed, when you are in anxiety.
Chapter 19. No, chapter 9.
Chapter 9, text 23.
23. 23.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
I just bought this. I bought this today.
What is it?
Krishna temple. What is this? This is the
Japamala.
Tulsa
Chanting
Mala.
beads. Right. Nice.
The Tulsi.
Good. Yes. Go on chanting every day.
But they were asking the different colors and all. Is it like that, or they have to?
It doesn't
they
matter, Mataji. Whatever it is, just chant your Hare Krishna. As long as 108, just go on chanting.
Okay. I took
All right. The rules
this
is chant from the big one. Start from the big one.
big one.
You know,
Must
the
buy the big
Mahameru.
one.
The middle, that's Mahameru.
Yeah, this one.
That is called Mahameru. Okay.
So we leave that and then we
there's one
start
big
chanting.
and one small, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Start from the big one. Okay.
And
Shouldn't use the middle finger. Don't use the middle finger. Just use his 2 finger. put it and enter into the bag and chant one beat. Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then go to the next beat.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, until you finish that final 108. What do you do? Turn.
Turn back.
The
Turn this
small-
way back.
No, just turn. That means you the beats that you end, you start from there and come. It means you must do you. You cannot like
You.
cross over.
Okay.
Okay, very nice. Fantastic.
Okay.
I'm so happy, Mataji. Hari bol.
Yeah,
All right.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. So is there any other questions? Any comment? Anyone?
Muna? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
So I'll
Any
read
other
the
que-
chapter 9.
Yeah. So tomorrow got class. Tomorrow Saturday we continue with chapter 13. Same time 9:30 p.m. till, because tomorrow I'm free, and also Sunday also we have the program. So today is 12, tomorrow is 13, day after tomorrow is 14. Then from Monday to Friday we finish our by next week we end our Gita Gyan program. Okay.
Prabhuji, is there anything that the Mahalaya Protasisani, is there anything on Krishna?
Chant Hare
which is
Krishna and be happy.
Just
I
that.
don't believe in all that ritual. I mean, personally, I
The
don't believe that.
Pitru, nothing to do with the
Hare
Pitru.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay.
Okay.
That will go.
I am not
Okay.
discouraging you, but I personally cannot something which I don't believe.
Okay.
Of course, in
Okay.
ISKCON Hare Krishna, they all are preparing to do that, but I don't want to believe. There's nothing can be more superior than Bhagavad Gita and chanting Hare Krishna. We have seen it with our own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have seen it with our own eyes. We have seen it with our own evidence. Krishna is giving all evidence. But what you can do, you can donate Bhagavad Gita on that day. Dedicate yourself, donate Bhagavad Gita. All right. So if you want to get it from KL, just go and buy 5 or 10 Bhagavad Gita. But I'm distributing 3 Bhagavad Gita for 100. I think three or 4. I think while stock class, you know. But if you buy in KL, it's more expensive.
Oh,
No. I think
yeah.
30,
Yeah. It's
35.
more expensive. Ji.
Yeah. But anyway, if
Yeah.
you can afford, just take some Bhagavad Gita and just
Yeah.
go around, tell your family members, whoever, or on that Mahalaya Amavasa, sit and chant Hare Krishna. Or sit and recite the entire Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
And dedicate the thing. And at home, you just make a pinda, just make some ball and offer it to the Krishna, and take the ball and offer it to Krishna. Offer it to the forefathers.
Oh, the ball with the yellow, black yellow.
Yellow, yes. Yeah, correct.
So we can
Yeah.
do it in the morning and do
Yeah,
offer.
can. You take it,
Offer to
offer it to
Krishna.
Krishna. Yes.
Offer to Krishna. Okay.
Offer to Krishna, take it as prasadam, then offer to your forefathers. But make sure you do 2.
Okay.
You shouldn't offer one. At
Ladies
least.
can do Prabhuji. Ladies can.
That's why that's why by culture, if the lady is having menses on the day, you can't do all that. So that's why chanting Hare Krishna is far superior than any of these.
Better. Okay. Because you say ladies must not do. The daughters, only boys should do. Men.
But nowadays you see that many men don't have sons.
No. Yeah. That's why.
It has become
That's
very
why
common
actually
already. Yeah.
Very
So
common.
make yourself by chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You can't expect your children to do this kind of ritual nowadays. You have to
Yeah.
say.
I also
Okay.
don't have
When is
sons.
Mahalaya Amavasa? I think October
Tomorrow,
3rd.
I mean, I started ready. Finishing on the 2nd. But to the first Protasi Sani.
Oh, I see.
Protasi Sani is first Saturday, tomorrow. First Saturday, Protasi. So in India, they do a lot for the Perumal Krishna.
Yeah.
Protasi for Saniswaran, or that Perumal, the Venkadasalapati, they will do Protasi Sani.
You have problem with Sani, you must worship Venkadachalapati.
They do the first Saturday of the whole. They have 4 Saturdays. That's right.
I used to go to that Klang Perumal temple before.
Before.
But now,
I was in a group where they chant 11 times Vishnu Sahasranamam in a big group from India. These expatriates, they will
now
chant.
you chant Hare Krishna. You have chanted 16 mantras, 16 Sahasranam in one mantra.
Okay.
It's already late.
Thank you. Good. Thank
so
you,
much,
Prabhuji.
so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
So I hope that today's session is very enlightening. So tomorrow we continue with chapter 13. Later I'll share this, what they call, the recording. So if any comments, any reflection, maybe you can share it tomorrow, or maybe you can send me message or whatever. All right. Till then, have a nice day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Good night.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Bol.
everyone.